Playing support can feel like a minefield, whether it's your team flaming you, every lane losing, or just generally feeling like you can't do much to carry the game. Support can be a hard role to climb with. People frequently ask me, how did you climb to Masters? Well, this is my second season hitting Masters, and I'm going to share with you my journey and some tips. This video isn't an in-depth character guide, but I'll be releasing those in the future. A couple of years ago, I started my league journey. I started my ranked climb in silver. I quickly found that I wasn't able to win games if I played a passive support character. Some examples of these are Nami, Lulu, Janna, and other enchanters that rely heavily on having good teammates. I found that I had more success with characters that have a higher damage output and could carry the game more in lower elo. So starting off in silver, I quickly climbed by playing Zyra. Zyra has a high damage output while also providing slows, a root, and an AoE knockup. For my runes, I usually took Arcane Comet with Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, Scorch, Taste of Blood, and Ultimate Hunter. I focused on providing high DPS by building Leandries and using my ult on cooldown. I was able to climb through silver and gold with her, but gradually Zyra became harder to play as I got focused a lot of the time, as she lacks mobility and she's very squishy. When I hit high gold and plat, I mainly started playing Karma. My runes for Karma were Summon Airy, Mana Flow Band, Scorch, Taste of Blood, and Ultimate Hunter. Ultimate Hunter helps to snowball as it reduces the cooldown on your mantra, which means your mantra Q is up more often. As such, my aim was to play super aggressive in lane and chunk the enemies with my RQ and Ignite. I would recommend Imperial Mandate as your first item to help snowball, followed by Shirelias for the movement speed buff for your team. You can build AP Karma if you would like. I did have a lot of success playing Night Harvester Karma with Cosmic Drive and Horizon Focus, but it's completely up to you. AP Karma surprisingly has high shielding values too. Make sure you use your Mantra E in team fights, which provides huge shields and movement speed to your teammates. Some Karma players do fall into the trap of just using her Mantra Q in team fights, but remember, you do need to keep your teammates alive as well. My second tip for playing Karma is that she only has one hard crowd control ability, which is her W. Make sure you save this ability for dangerous enemies to help shut them down. Her root is extremely good against characters such as Master Yi, as the root stays attached when he uses his Q. Players often throw out Karma's W on characters that aren't as dangerous, such as tanks or other support characters. My recommendation is to make sure that you save this for characters that might wipe your team, for example, as the root is very valuable. My third tip is make use of Karma's passive. Her mantra cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds for every ability hit. So if you fire a mantra Q at 2 enemies, you will get a big cooldown reduction and even a complete cooldown reset later in the game. Make sure to keep an eye on your mantra cooldown in team fights and make sure you use it off of cooldown. Overall, Karma is a very strong laner, so your aim is to win lane and get your ADC ahead. Otherwise, you may find yourself becoming a shield bot, which is not what we want if we want to climb.
Electric chair.
This strategy of forcing lane wins with Karma proved less reliable when I hit high plat, so then I switched to maining Janna. My runes were Glacial Augment, Magical Footwear, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Font of Life, and Revitalize. Glacial Augment pairs amazingly with Janna's kit. Her Q and her R utilize it well, and it provides so many opportunities to engage and disengage. I mainly built Moonstone Renewer as my mythic item and Rust Redemption to maximize the healing on my R, which would heal my teammates back to full health in team fights. The Moonstone mythic passive provides extra healing and shielding per legendary item, and when comboed with Redemption, it works extremely well to provide massive heals for your team. I also took Exhaust to help heal for my teammates and made sure to use it on the enemy carry champs. My top tips for playing Janna are: make sure you are saving your Q knockup and your R knockback to interrupt dangerous enemy abilities in team fights. Some examples are Katarina ult and Samira ult. I can't stress this tip enough. My second tip for playing Janna is make sure you immobilize an enemy champ with another ability before you cast your E shield to make use of the extra shielding passive on her E. A lot of Jannas forget this and throw out their E before using another ability. My third tip for playing Janna is get comfortable with using her ult. You can use her ultimate in so many different ways, whether it's knocking back enemies that get too close to you to disengage, or casting your ult to heal your team in a team fight. Janna's ult usage is very versatile, so don't be afraid to quickly pop your ult and run away. It's not a waste, there are so many different ways to use it. Overall, Janna is a very strong and reliable enchanter with lots of crowd control to help heal for the team. She is a more difficult character, but once you get more comfortable with her tornadoes and her ult usage, you'll be absolutely fine. I hit Masters a couple days ago by playing Janna. She is my secret weapon, she's so powerful in team fights, and she has so many ways to peel for her allies. Then, I lost 6 games in a row and demoted. I can't do more than that, unfortunately. Any tips for dealing with IBS? But I made it back again by mostly playing Sona. My runes are Airy, Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, Gathering Storm, Conditioning, and Revitalize. I build Moonstone Renewer and Seraph's Embrace with the aim of scaling and pumping out big heals in team fights. The shield from Seraph's Embrace and Conditioning will help your survivability. Here are some of my top tips for playing Sona. My first tip is that positioning is so important. The enemy will try to kill you first since Sona is a sitting duck and she's so squishy. Make sure you play behind your teammates and try to stay grouped wherever possible. My second tip for playing Sona is learn her poking range for the laning phase. You want to try hit your Q plus auto or auto Q and power chord to poke and stack your passive, but make sure you cast at the furthest range possible to stay safe. My third tip for playing Sona is stack your passive as quickly as possible for the extra cooldown reduction on your ultimate, and then try to throw out your ult as much as possible to win small fights. Overall, Sona is a great scaler and she excels in team fights where she can pump out big heals and shielding. She isn't too challenging once you master her positioning, but let's just hope your team has a front line.
Death to all of them.
Anyways guys, thanks so much for watching this video. This is more of an overview of my rank journey as a support player, but I will be creating more detailed guides in the future for specific champs and how to climb in different elos. I hope some of these tips will help. I also stream on Twitch if you want to keep up with my rank journey. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video or in my stream.